I see you in the NFT game though. You got the what did you bought the what do they call it, the ape?
Yep, Bored Ape.
Bored Ape? Yeah.
Yep. That was like my first just intertwine. You see, like I seen a few players, like Babyhead got one. I seen Pluto got one, and I'm like, just because I'm really not the person that kind of like just jump on when I see everything. I kind of like used to like to see like what's gonna be the outcome of it. But some just telling me like, man, just dip into this world, just get into this metaverse world, like you know the future's coming. So just kind of just try to learn it and just dip in it. And it kind of been like I've been kind of growing in that space. Like I got a few more NFTs that I just been collecting, but it's about having your own NFT. Like It's about having your own collection and dropping it. But you also still want to be like a good name in this. Like you gotta have like rings. Like you can't already think you join. You ain't played and got no rings. And so like collecting is just like getting your name and understanding like, oh, he got these, he got Thug Birds, he got these, he got Alien Society. That's another one. So it's just like, he understand NFTs. So by the time I come with mine, by the time I come with mine, it's like, we gotta get his. He trim.
How much your ape was like $500,000, right?
Like 300,000.
Okay.
And it went up now. Now it's 400.
There you go. Investment.
When I posted it, it went viral. The person who like really be like keeping me updated and giving me like game, he called me like, yo, your Bored Ape had went up. Like, just keep doing what you're doing, letting people know that you're in this world and like you learning it.
And it's a club, right? Like the ape thing is a club. Like you got to have the NFT to even get access to this club, right?
And maybe like the club might start throwing parties, like you said, because they've been telling me like, bruh, they throw you a party. I'm like, throw a party? Like, yes, throw you a party in the metaverse and let people come to your party.
What's going on, guys? So I want to make a video on that clip you just saw with Gunna talking about how he got into the NFT world and how he figured out what it was all about and learned about it. And, you know, by the way, shout out to him for doing that, for getting his feet wet with it, purchasing the actual NFT, figuring the whole world out and the potential of those NFTs. But I want to make a video for a lot of artists and producers that follow me or just that haven't followed me yet to explain what an NFT is, because I made a few videos in the recent past about the Nas NFT, how I try to get that one, and just different ones, how my experience was with the Eminem NFT and how I lost a little bit of money on it. But I see a lot of people are calling it scams. Like, it's a scam, don't do it, this and that. And then some people are super excited about it, but are super confusing about trying to explain what it means. So let me try to make a video to explain what an NFT actually is, especially, you know, for the purpose of the music industry. So look, NFT is not a scam. It's a digital contract. Just so you can get scammed in the real world, you can literally sign a contract in the real world on paper, and you can still get scammed. You know what I'm saying? You could maybe sue that person because you had their signature on the contract. Good luck doing that. But depending on how the contract was written, it wouldn't even be held up in court. You know what I'm saying? Because the contract could have been poorly written, and the judge is going to say, like, this doesn't even follow U.S. laws. The hell, get out of here. You know what I'm saying? You can't even sue this person. That was your dumbass that signed this contract. You should have read it. NFT could be the same thing. So if you got scammed, it's because you had no idea what you were sort of buying, how it worked, what you could do with it later, and what the contract actually said, right? You still got to read. Like, these contracts, you know, live on the digital world, but you still got to read them. But let me give you an example of what an NFT could actually be do in the future, and how these platforms will continue to evolve. I'm going to give you like a wild, stupid example just to make the point. Let's say you're going to write up a contract that I'm willing to purchase, and what I want from you is I want you to come to my house every weekend, clean my house. I want to purchase your car that you just bought at a discounted price, and I want your access to your Netflix account. So you're going to write the contract, physical contract, and we're both going to sign it, and I'm going to give you money for it. You know, I'm going to give you $10,000 for it. Now, we better abide by those contract terms. Again, I would have to sue you if you don't, you know what I'm saying, if that even would hold up in court. But if we abide by the contract terms, you better be at my house every weekend, clean it. I'm going to have your card at this kind of rate, and I'm going to have access to your Netflix account and just give you $10,000 for it. We could have done that in the NFT world as well. If you would have minted that NFT as a contract stating all that, you know what I'm saying, that I just talked about, then I still would have had your vehicle at a discounted price. You still would have to come to my house, and I still would have had access to your Netflix account. It's just now in the digital world, it's in the blockchain. It's verifiable as long as I have access to it, or anybody that has access to it. It lives there, right? So that could be the future of NFT contracts. You can literally put anything in it that you want. Now, the cool thing about that NFT now is that I can sell that, right? I paid you $10,000 for it, but I can sell that for $20,000. You may get a $2,000 commission, which is 10%, right? If that person sells it again for $40,000, you would get $4,000. But now the third person owns it, and I transfer to the second person, and that person transferred to the third person. That third person now is going to get your services of you coming to their house every weekend and cleaning it. They should get the vehicle at that, whatever price they bought it at. I got it at the cheapest rate, at the discounted rate. The person I sold it to got it at a higher rate because they had to buy it from me. And then the third person paid even more for it. But maybe you became a celebrity and they want to have a celebrity come over every weekend, clean their house, have that vehicle that you bought that was your first car that you ever had, and they want your access to your Netflix account. And you better keep that Netflix account active because that was in the contract. But I just resold it as a financial instrument. So I got my money back. I got your service for a while. I sold it. But when I sold it, you made some money. And when they sold it again, you made some money again. You know what I'm saying? But you still have to do that service because that was in the contract. That's what an NFT is. So going back to the Nas example, he sold percentages of ownership of the mechanical royalty payouts, like 2%. But if you would have actually read that contract, that NFT is sort of primitive, at least in my opinion, because it doesn't automatically track those streams. It's not connected to the DSPs. It doesn't automatically pay out every quarter like DistroKid account would, where you can split the song in multiple pieces and you put their PayPal account email addresses in there and then they get paid. It didn't do that. Basically, if you read the contract, it said that at Nas's label's discretion, which is Mass Appeal, they will pay out the money at a certain schedule. But here's the problem, potential problem. If Mass Appeal, as the record label, goes bankrupt, right, then you may never get any more money. Now you have to go to court, you have to fight that and all of that. However, if the NFT contract would have stated we're automatically tracking the streaming platforms somehow, and we're going to pay out the money no matter who goes bankrupt or owns that record, even if that record gets transferred. Like, I don't know if you guys remember, years ago I made a video how Hasbro, the toy company, ended up buying Death Row Records and all their publishing rights to all the records and their masters and all of that because Death Row went bankrupt. This NFT contract, if set up with all this automation and tracking all these numbers, could potentially always guarantee you a payment on that song, no matter who owns it, even though 3 companies might have went bankrupt in the next 50 years that would have owned the masters to it, or that, those streaming revenue, put it that way. That is the potential with NFT contract. But on the Royal.io right now, that is not the case. They don't have that ability to do that, but you still purchase a contract and you could download it as a PDF, right? And you just purchase if you guys, any of you got the Nas NFT, the different tiers offer different things. Like the most expensive tier, the diamond, you would have had a call with the producer that made it. You would have had extra like exclusive merchandise and all that. But that's the whole point, is the contract, right? So just like what Gunna was talking about in the Breakfast Club, you could essentially sell an NFT to a secret society, membership, tickets to a concert, just like The Weeknd and Eminem sold like action figures in the digital world at Wiggle. That's what I bought. I lost money on it, but I never said it was a scam. I knew what I was buying. I want to get my feet wet with it, meaning I want to get the experience, wanted to see how it worked, see how I could sell it. And I could have made money in the first week or first few days because there was so much hype around it. It was like a bubble of hype where people were buying it for 3 times the amount. I should have sold it, but I just wanted to see would it have value in the future. So I waited 9 months. Mine didn't have any value. I lost a few dollars on it, but it is what it is. But something like a piece of art from Picasso could have more value, right? Or if Jay-Z makes a doodle on a piece of paper and you think it's going to go up in value, that's the NFT you bought. That could have happened, but don't call it a scam just because you bought a stupid, a piece of digital art that had no potential of gaining value. That's up to you to understand the industry, evaluate the person's brand, their demand value and all of that. So I'm going to leave it at that. Hopefully, now you understand what the NFT contract could be in the future, right? And in the metaverse, if we buy digital clothes, meaning if you look at me through the Apple goggles or Apple glasses, whatever they're calling them, and right now I'm wearing this in the physical world, but if you look through the glasses, I'm wearing like a cool digital jacket. You could buy that as NFTs. That's all going to be coming. That's all pretty much here. Is there a demand for it? Again, I'm of a certain age, demographic, and like experience. I don't see To me, these digital things don't really have that much value. But I'm not saying no digital thing will ever have value to me, but a bunch of high school kids right now could be all about these NFTs. You know what I'm saying? Like these digital clothes and whatever. So you just have to understand the business, what you're signing and what you're buying, because NFT is just a smart contract that lives on the blockchain, hopefully forever. But you have to make sure you can transfer it to these different platforms, because at the same time, what if OpenSea goes out of business? What if Royal.io as a company goes out of business and you never transferred your NFT? Is your NFT done? It could be. You got to read the contract. We don't know. You know what I'm saying? It's just like in a foreign country, if you put your money in the bank, even though all money is pretty much digital these days, if the bank goes out of business or the government crashes, you may never get that money back. In the US, we're FDIC insured. So, you know, presumably I'm going to get a certain amount of money out of each bank I have my money at. But if the economy completely crashes and the US goes south, maybe they'll say, sorry, buddy, we got an army, you don't, you're not getting your money back. But again, it's a contract. NFT is a contract. I'm not going to get off a tangent. This video is long enough. If you guys want to learn more about the business and how to understand these things so you can be better prepared and more empowered to understand what NFT you're buying and doesn't have a chance of increasing in value, or should you sell it or not, whatever, make sure you follow me on Instagram. Hit the link in my bio. Get into my NDR's accelerator, because that's where all this learning and teaching and exchange of ideas happens at. Also, if you're on YouTube, like this video, comment on it. That way it'll get in front of more artists, producers, entrepreneurs that need to hear this type of stuff. And also follow me on Twitch and check me out on Twitch. I mean, I have so many things going on. Just follow me. And if you follow me, I post about this all the time. You'll be able to see what I'm involved with, what I'm doing, and how I can potentially help you. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.